get my good King Henry seeds going. It's a beautiful plant, grown mostly up north, but I'm going to try it down here. I got my seeds from Fedco Seeds. And the thing about them is you have to keep the seeds in the refrigerator for about 5 days. It says to chill the seeds in a moist medium and then you can direct sow. So that's what I'm going to do. And I made myself a note at the bottom that I put these in the fridge at 8 p.m. on Saturday the 14th, and I'm going to take them out the morning of the 20th. And that's when I'm going to put them in the ground. I use the Miracle Grow seed starting potting mix, which is what I use when I start regular plants like tomato plants. But all you do is you just moisten this, and that's what you can use to start these seeds. You put them in the refrigerator for 5 days. I just moistened the soil with water, and then I sprinkled the seeds on top, and then just kind of fluffed it with my fingers so that the seeds would get covered with a little bit of dirt all over. And then I'm just going to see what happens after 5 days, and I'm going to put them out in a big plot in the ground. No need to start them in individual containers. Growing a plant like a good King Henry down here in the deep south might seem like a stretch because it did come from Fedco Seeds. It is a plant that they say grows in the wild in the north, but I want to try it. I'm thinking, why not? You have to think about where you live, your kind of microclimate. At my previous home, I was in full sun. I had no trees. Even in the shade, it was hot. It didn't matter where you were on the property, it was always hot. So at this house, my front yard's pretty open, but the back of my house gets a lot of shade, and it's got a lot of trees, a lot of leaves, a lot of forest bed and things like that. And it is cooler back there. When you walk from the front of the house around the back of the house, the temperature definitely stays cooler. So I'm definitely going to plant my King Henry back there. I'm going to try to put it in a little more environment where it might be happier than in my full sun Louisiana heat up front. I'm going to try to put it in an inconspicuous spot where it won't get mowed, where it'll be taken care of, and I'm just going to see if it'll grow, because it's a perennial. And when you're talking about food sources, I've been trying to kind of think through some of these that I've ordered. If you're spending money on the seeds, at least think about why you want it. And why I wanted it for the King Henry was 2 reasons. Number one, the leaves and everything can be eaten just like salad greens, like spinach. You can cook them down like you do greens, or you can put them in salads, and they're very, very nutritious. So having the greens is great. But also, King Henry is known as poor man's asparagus because it sends up shoots out of the ground like asparagus. And those are considered a delicacy and are eaten. I don't know what they taste like, but I just know that one plant that can give you several different sources of food, like the lovage I was talking about, the lovage leaves are like celery, but you can also eat the stems and the taproot and everything. And when you can eat the whole plant from root up, you're doing good. With the King Henry, I don't know that you can eat the actual roots, but you can eat those shoots that they send up that are like asparagus. So the leaves and the asparagus, that's fantastic. Now you do need to wait the whole first year and don't harvest any of it the whole first year, it said. You're giving that plant time to really get strong in your ground and to develop its root system in your ground. So, and then the next year it said to very lightly harvest your leaves and maybe don't harvest those shoots until the 3rd year. So I'm looking ahead. I'm not in any hurry. If I can get it going and I can have a source like that that'll get there, stay there, and be there for 10, 15 years or more, why not give it a try? It's just a pack of seeds. It cost me about $3. So why not give it a try? And let me tell you what I'm really having trouble with right this moment is this Errant TPost that's right here in my front yard. It doesn't want to leave me. It wants to stay right here. I've pulled up plenty of TPost out of my garden before. I've used my tractor to kind of rock them sometimes so that I can pull them up. And sometimes you just get a little shovel and you go at it and it comes on up. And this one is fooling me. I thought that it was like a 5.5 foot, maybe 6 foot TPost, and that it was right underground. But I've dug down this far. It's got to be a good 9, 12 inches. And I haven't even come to the little arrowhead spear part that's at the bottom yet. So that tells me that this is at least a 7 foot TPost, and it is down in the ground, and it's right alongside this stump. And I've had to chop up tons of roots, and there's even another big white root system right there that I have hit with my shovel and cannot get to break. And I'm just kind of, this thing is just buried in there with roots and dirt, and I can't get it out. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be patient. We're supposed to have some rain tomorrow, and I think I'm just going to let it rain in this hole because I've just about dug out all the dirt that I can get out with my shovel working around that stump and the roots. And I think I'm just going to let the rain soften it a little more, and maybe I can rock it a little more tomorrow. And because it's hardly even rocking now. It's in there. It's strong. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting to just pop it out of the ground when I got my shovel out this morning. But it's here to stay. So this chore is just going to wait. I can maybe go ahead and drive the other ones that I need to drive over here. But this one right here in the ground is just going to wait for a little bit. Where's she going next? She's going into the Crepe Myrtles. That's my next project. I just decided it minutes ago, but it's been bothering me like crazy. I need to get out here and prune up these Crepe Myrtles. Look at how bushy some of them look over there. They're just covered with little dead branches. Look at the difference between this. That's one bush. Look at the difference between that and the one I just did. Amazing. And all that little scrap on there just pulls energy away from the plant actually being able to really do what it needs to do in the spring, so I took it off. But these are Natchez Crepe Myrtles, and look at how beautiful. Their trunks are red. They get covered with kind of a gray bark, but their trunks are red at the core. And they're beautiful. And they had white flowers last year. We still got little dried up buds all over it at the top. But they're going to be so pretty. I'm going to clean up all the brush, and I'm going to go over there to my wood chip pile, load up my wheelbarrow, and bring load after load over here to put around the base. Don't know if I'll get it all done in one day. It took me longer than I thought to just do one tree. But you know what? That's my theme this weekend, is just start. Just start. Everything kind of piles up on you here after the first of the year, but you just have to start. And eventually, you know, it's fun. And eventually, it's exciting to watch things that you did bear fruit and grow. I'm hoping and praying my plants grow this year. But I also need to take care of the plants that were here before I moved in. These beautiful Crepe Myrtles that somebody cared enough to plant in this row. And now they're mine to tend to. They're mine. So I'm gonna get on it. Okay, I got that done. They look so much better. They just look happier. What I decided to do was I hauled off the big limbs, put them in a pile, and I just decided to rake all these smaller limbs to the middle area between the trees, because I'm gonna be bringing those wood chips and spreading them everywhere. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to spread them around the trees and in between the trees for weed purposes, so that my lawnmower is not going around these trees to try to mow and stuff. Just keep the lawnmower away from the trees. So when I was cutting, I kind of kept that in my mind with some of these limbs, is will they hit me in the head when I'm driving by, because some of them were going kind of sideways. So if that was the case, those limbs didn't make it. I took them off because I'm going to put a big long strip of wood chips that'll go all the way down here. But, you know, I will be a couple of feet from the trees, and I don't want to get clunked in the head. This is just one load of chips right here, and that's all it did. So it's going to take me a good many loads to go down to the end down there, and that's okay. It's just wood chips, and my pile's right here, so that's okay. Now this is that oak tree that's growing up in the middle of the gardenia that I had showed on a video a while back, and I asked y'all to let me know what you thought. Keep the oak tree or keep the gardenia? Well, the gardenia won out. People wanted me to keep the gardenia, and I agree. It stays green, it's beautiful, it smells so good. I'm sure it attracts tons of pollinators. And I've got enough oak trees in my yard. There's acorns everywhere, they pop up everywhere. I'm constantly having to deal with sprouts. So the oak tree can go. But it's too thick for me to do all of it with my loppers there on the ground. So I went and got my Sawzall, but it needs a battery, which I do have charging inside. So I'm gonna head in there to get the battery. I'll come outside and cut this oak tree down, and then it's just a matter of hauling a bunch of wood chips. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I could do a time lapse or something, but it's just hauling wood chips. So I'll show you what it looks like in the end when I get it done. Well, I got it done. I got it done. Love it. I didn't get that gardenia trimmed, but that's okay. I knew I would lose the sun if I bogged down on that gardenia and didn't get all these wood chips over here. It's almost 5 o'clock now. Still gets pretty dusky around 5:30, so just wanted to get done what I could, but I got it all done. I love it. This doesn't have anything to do with gardening or anything like that, but boy, does it make you feel good to accomplish something. And I guess that's why I'm kind of on this little mission to accomplish a few things, because of so long of just preparing for a move, and then moving, and then getting everything done in my house. Everything was prep work. And now I can finally get out here and enjoy my yard. I can just enjoy it. I do feel a little under the gun about all the gardening and the vegetables, but today was about the crepe myrtles. And it'll pay off here in probably March, April for sure. These will all be bloomed out and beautiful, and I'll be enjoying them. I love it. It looks great. I'm about done for today. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. What is that? It's another TPost. Just stuck in the ground doing nothing. Oh no.